Hi everyone, my name is Eric Stow and I'm a producer here at South Park along with Adrian Beard. He's here too, he's a producer also. And you guys just want to go around the room and kind of introduce who's in the room and who's here?
Hi, I'm Ryan Quincy. I'm an animation director on Comedy Central South.
Okay, very good. Jenny?
I'm Jenny Yu, and I am supervising technical director.
Okay, very good.
Hi, Jack Shee, supervising animator. Is that what it is?
Yes, that's what you are now. And
Hello, Keith Bartkus, video editor.
all right, so there's like 6 of us in the room. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about super fun time and kind of the condition of the show as we go through the process each day. And what we're watching right here is day 1, which is mostly all storyboards. Trey's probably coming with us with an idea, and he's given probably about 3 pages of script, and Adrian and his team have started to break it down. You want to talk a little bit about that, Adrian?
Well, we get a couple of pages of script. At this point, the show's still kind of raw, and we're getting kind of a non-linear script where we don't know the whole plot line yet and everything else, but we have some key jokes we have to work out fairly quickly. And I think this scene here was basically when they first get to the historical park, and they're trying to figure out that these guys are going to stay in character the whole time, the guys who they're visiting with.
Now, those storyboards didn't really have any backgrounds, and I can't remember. I think Trey had said, can you guys start animating this? We don't really know where or what the backgrounds are going to be like. Remember, we didn't know if it was going to take place in the city. We didn't know.
Oh, yeah, the deep backgrounds.
Yeah, the deep backgrounds. So we kind of started animating it, even without the backgrounds.
Yeah, and a lot of these, the stuff was based on something we did a long time ago, where we did kind of a pioneer village, and we were trying to reuse some of that stuff, but it turned out it was a completely different type of pioneer village, so we had to kind of redesign everything and redesign all the pioneer characters too.
And I think part of that was because they didn't know how much the crime scene was going to take place, like if they were going to show the robbery. Because I remember one guy was shot. You know, he shows up all shot, and I guess as it kind of became what it became, it was really just funny that this guy got shot over a bunch of Burger King hamburgers.
Yeah, and we never get to do anything because of the logistics. We don't really know where stuff's going to happen, so we do a lot of stuff in cutaways, which is a shot just independent on its own. Because initially Trey told us it had to be isolated because they were going to trap everybody in this park, but we didn't know what was going to happen in the park and where in the park. So that's why most of these shots you're seeing are cutaways.
Yeah, that's right. And another thing, I mean, these are just 2 scenes, and when you watch the final thing all the way through, these scenes are nowhere near each other. And oftentimes we don't really even know, where this scene is going to fall in place of the story. And really neither does, the writers. It's so organic, it kind of just grows as the week goes on. I don't remember that being one of the first days of it being written.
No.
Is it? Must be, though.
No, we didn't get to the shooting part till later.
I don't remember any of this.
That was the first day.
Yeah, I think that was the first day.
Wait, what show is this? All right, that's day 1.
God damn it, you people are fucking insane! Butters, you are not to let go of Eric's hand until you are both back on that bus. Do you understand?
I understand.
Kids, everyone together.
Okay, hey, it's the day 2, and we have some more animatic. I guess we should talk a little bit about what an animatic is, for those of you who don't know what an animatic is. Our editor, Keith, here, is going to explain that. Go ahead, Keith.
Well, usually Trey writes a few pages of script, then Matt and Trey come in here, and they'll record the audio. It's called scratch dialogue. And meanwhile, Adrian and the storyboard crew are already working on storyboards, and it all comes to me, and we cut it together for timing. Trey comes in, sits down, and looks at the animatic before it goes out on the floor. So it's usually a way for us to see the camera angles and direction and timing for jokes, stuff like that. So, and then it goes piece by piece to lip syncers, and then TDs set it up, and then the animator gets it, and then it'll come back to us in animated form. Sometimes Trey can even have a scene up, animated and back in the Avid, within an hour, just depending on how fast we need it. It's a well-oiled machine here.
Are there any kind of rules to the way that you cut before Trey sits down?
I just got to do it as fast as I can, especially, if he wants to get on the Avid, because, I'm the editor, but Trey's the real. I do about 90% of it, and then Trey comes and does the final 10%. So sometimes he's in a hurry to get on the Avid. He's got something on his mind or in a scene he wants to see. And so I just got to do it really fast.
Don't a lot of times, like Adrian and those guys give you more storyboards, different angles.
Yeah,
and
they'll give
stuff,
us.
And you pick which ones are.
They give you
fitting.
options.
Yeah, Adrian will give me a lot of options. Sometimes if it's a scene like this, like he was saying earlier, where Trey's giving him some direction already, he'll have it laid out for me. But sometimes I'll have 2 or 3 options.
And usually you choose the wrong option.
Yeah, it depends.
Trey always wants to make it his own. So even
exactly.
if there's a better way of doing it, as an artist, he always wants to make it his own. So as you can see, there's no artwork, and when I say artwork, there's no animation in here at all. It's all storyboards, and this would be a Friday that we have the show in this condition, and it's a Friday before it airs. And so even though the animatic is in this condition, there's still backgrounds that we're looking at. There's characters that we're creating. Jenny and her crew, they've already have things that the storyboard department and the art department has given us, and they're kind of modeling these characters, and we call them smart puppets because they have every angle and every kind of hand that needs to be used on that character.
Yeah, if you look at that, that's Cartman and Butters on the other side. Wrong side. They switch hands.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that was something we kind of got into. I think in day 3 we kind of realized that Trey really wanted them to look like they were really holding their hands, and he never wanted them to let go. And so one of the things that the storyboards that I kind of went through is, I think I had to flop everything, didn't I? Didn't I grab them all? I had to cut them and paste them and do them all reverse.
Yeah, there was a lot of.
Because we really had to figure out how they were holding hands, and as the show got more and more in depth, we had to see, well, that's not going to work if they're holding hands that way. We need to have them holding hands with the other hands, and so we kind of had to.
And they were so specific
make that
about
consistent.
what the hand looked like, the hand holding.
Yeah.
So that went through a couple revisions.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
And
Yeah,
sometimes it's very detailed. Trey is very specific about
There's
even
specific things that he wants to be just right. Here we have a new scene. I guess that last scene was kind of new too, where Cartman sees the super fun time. But this was another script that was written Friday, a little part of the script where the general store scene, where the cops and robbers show up. Again, we have no idea where this was going to fall in the show.
All new backgrounds, a lot of new characters. That's the way it seems it's going. Like every episode now, we don't get to reuse a lot of stuff anymore.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever really done any kind of Wild West backgrounds or anything like that.
No, we got a lot of this stuff we used from that old. It was going to be that Beaver Dam episode. Originally, we were going to do that Beaver Dam episode, and we had to build this kind of frontier town for that.
Oh, that's right. That was where the Hurricane Katrina episode was
Yeah.
going to be. Yeah, they were going to flood a town like this.
And we were able to use some of that stuff, but not that much. And something else that you'll notice in the animatic too is that it's also kind of a testing ground. Sometimes Trey will like the way the background's drawn in the animatic, and he'll say build the Corel the exact same way, or he might like a character in the animatic.
Same thing with the facial expressions. Yeah.
He uses that a lot.
So it gives us opportunity to kind of get things tested for him as far as jokes. Like Keith was saying, he can kind of see if it works in kind of a drawing form before we actually go to an animation form, which is time is of the essence. So it's important to kind of get this stuff as right as possible, early as possible. So like this, I remember this layout was kind of strange because we couldn't figure out how they were going to look out the window and where they'd be looking in the window and all those other stuff. So we did a lot of multiple boards. And in the editing bay, he was able to kind of draw it out for us and show us exactly what he wanted. So then we could start redesigning everything based on what he wants. Same thing with this Happy Funland place. We didn't know exactly if it was going to be a Chuck E. Cheese kind of place, was it going to be this kind of place, and we were able to kind of show him some of these sketches in the boards and get his opinion on this stuff. And if he's happy with the layout and he doesn't send it back a lot of changes, we'll build right off of the storyboards oftentimes. Or Eric will send notes saying, this is great, do it this way, and we can do it straight out of the boards.
Yeah, the animatic also helps our art department figure out, like, oh, we're going to use that angle, then we need to create that angle and build it. And if we don't use that panel of the storyboard, then they don't have to build that. So oftentimes Trey just wants to cut from shot to shot reverse, and it helps from having to do any kind of like three-quarter angles or side angles and stuff like that. So kind of makes things a little more efficient if we can get away with it. So and still
Black hole.
have a good story. I don't know what those black holes were.
Black holes are usually when we don't have a board or he has a specific note and we'll just put in a black hole as a
Black
place
hole.
marker, and I'll still frame count and send audio for that black hole, but Eric will, when he does get the board in paper form, he'll draw it out and draw Trey's notes. And it saves time on the storyboarders. Instead of having them redraw a board, we just stick in a placeholder.
Yeah, because we're watching this without audio, but oftentimes those black holes, yeah, they're just place fillers. Oftentimes we'll have black holes during like montages or music sequences because we just can't figure out what needs to go in that place. The Canadian show that we did, where the Canadians go on strike, there was a lot of black holes that we had to figure out, like what was going to be that part of the song. So here's the shot. Here's the same scene that we had for day one, and we still don't have any artwork for it. It's Friday before the show airs.
There's no animation at all. Modeling so much.
What's going on with all those people who are working for South Park? What are they doing out there on the floor?
Lazy animators.
It seems like the storyboard artists got their they did what they were supposed to do.
So yeah, it's probably because everything was brand new in this show
Yeah.
that everybody's modeling all these new backgrounds and new characters. So stuff's not going through production quite as fast. So whenever there's an episode that you see with it's brand new, it takes place on Mars. That basically means Thursday and Friday we're basically building, or their departments are building stuff. All the TDs are busy building, and animation comes a little bit later because of that.
Yeah, there's a lot of things being built right now.
Yeah, on this one, even the Butters Cartman, who are standard characters, they had to be built to be locked in hand-holding, so we had to wait for all that to get constructed, built, and then all those revisions that happened to it before we even started animating it. Because Trey wanted the whole Cartman dragging Butters around a certain way, dragging him like stuck to his,
But even the terrorists, like we didn't even know what the terrorists were going to look like. Did Trey give you the idea of the Die Hard terrorists? Or is that something you guys kind of bounced around with? Or
We bounced around. We couldn't decide. He wanted them to be slick and cool, but he wasn't sure if he wanted them to look European or whatever.
All right, well that was day 2. So we'll see you at day 3.
You see any engines? Nah, it's just the city and... Oh my Jesus Christ, monkey bars.
Okay, so here we are at day 3. It's now Saturday before the show airs, and the main mountaineer guy, you can
Pioneer
see
Paul.
You can see that the town is like right up to him, and I think in the final version, as we see the days go on, that all gets scaled and pushed back away from where they are. So they're more in like a meeting area before they go into the town. And in this reverse shot of the kids, you can see there's no city behind them. It's all mountains back there, and that was because Matt and Trey still don't know like what area that the mountain village takes place. And since it was a bank robbery, he wanted to have the feel that they were still in the city and they had pulled into this little Heritage Square area, and that kind of progressed. So we had to cut and paste all those backgrounds.
There's a parking lot eventually that's back there too, right?
Yeah, that was a whole nother change it went through. It was a parking lot because once the police showed up, which hadn't been written yet, we needed a place where all the police cars can
Also, a pizza nut, I think, was added later. I don't know if that
Yeah,
was
the pizza nut. That was
a specific thing.
Yeah, why was the pizza nut? That was a specific thing.
I don't know why that happened.
I think something was on hold. When do we get that pizza nut? We need that
Can't
pizza nut
proceed
now.
until we have the pizza nut. He wanted to put it in the context of the city, right? And
Yeah,
then-
that's what it was.
I think it made it more of like a city.
And then the end shot, which came later, there was the pizza nut in that. So he wanted to establish that early.
That's right. So you could kind of get a sense of space, location, where Super Fun Time is related to where the cops are, which is in relation to where the Pioneer Village is.
And this is the first day it's actually called Super Fun Time.
Yeah, that's right.
It was the Living Museum before that.
Isn't this also the part where the guy says he calls him one name in this, and then later on they say
he
this
called
is
the guy who gets shot in that scene when he's got the watch on. I think his name's Chad or something.
Yeah, and later on he says, "No, your name is," and it's a totally different name.
Oh, really? I think that happens a lot. That happens a lot with South Park because we're
6 days.
We don't have like 6 months where we get to comb over a script and say, okay, this is this and that guy's that guy. We're just by the fly by our seats kind of crew. So And the way Trey writes it sometimes, I think there's two villains that are the same guy, right?
Yeah,
I think
Yeah.
three of the terrorists are all the same
They're
name.
all the same name.
Including the woman at one
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. That's right. We try to fix things as we can.
Well, here's
get 'em done,
also
but
the,
it doesn't happen all the
they
time.
have that whole scene at the gunsmith, and it's later on Stan asks that guy, like, oh, you guys have guns here? But the whole opening scene takes place at the gun shop in Pioneer Village.
Oh,
I'm
man.
just finding all the holes in this.
You're ruining our show.
Maybe we
guys.
should.
Maybe we shouldn't do commentary.
Should we stop?
Start
Those
breaking
are,
up.
those are all
Show
prop
parts.
guns. They're not real guns. And another
This is a
black hole.
With ways to show how it doesn't work.
You can see some of those
Speaking
hand
of-
holding, or what Jenny was talking about, how they have just like these meat hands that are holding Stan and Wendy, and later on we switched them all to better looking hand holding hands.
Here's a new scene that was written. Are we on day 3 or are we on day 4? We're on day 3. Okay, this is day 3.
So yeah, we start getting into the meat of the story here, and we start understanding the logistics and what things are going to happen, when they're going to happen, and we can start realizing what character is going to do what. Now the terrorists are actually kind of doing things and killing people.
Yeah.
So we start having to figure out who's going to die, who's not going to die. If there are another shots, should we replace that guy? And Trey starts really starting to get into the teeth of the plot and stuff by this point, like day 3. He's generally got a better grasp of exactly what's going to happen and when.
And some of this artwork, like this, we've had in the show, I think, for what, almost 2 days now. But again, the backgrounds are so full of
All those rides.
things that are going on that it takes it a while. And it's funny because you guys you drew all these kids and people in there, and I think at the final pass, there's no kids at all.
Dude, this place shreds! What should we do first? We should get back to Pioneer Village, that's what we should do! Butters, we're going to get back before anybody even notices we're gone. Let's go hit the bumper cars!
I remember that was kind of weird. What was the big deal about this room? Were you guys waiting for this room, or it was simple animation, right? So you guys wanted that one first.
Well, it had to be in the
it didn't-
it was
yeah,
in
it
the
didn't-
office area.
It wasn't supposed to look like the rest of the like Pioneer Town.
Yeah,
was
he
like
really
a
wanted it to
regular office.
look like the behind the scenes of
Yeah.
Pioneer Village. That was a hard shot to get in the cut. Look at that. It was in there right away. Didn't even have to be animated. I think a TD just sent it. Set it up and sent it.
We went through a couple different fonts though, didn't we?
Oh,
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think even the woman is she the same person that gets called?
We just
Yeah.
took
Yeah,
the
you-
badge. I think we added a badge on her
Yeah.
We do that a lot of recycling
Yeah.
of
as
characters.
much as we can.
As much as we can. As much as we
When I
can.
think it is clear to leave, we will now need to take hostages with us to ensure our goods get to their
Hans?
final
Is that his name?
destination.
Yeah.
You must take
I think
anyone.
that's what it was in Die Hard too.
These kids are worth more
Best movie ever.
than-
That was pretty good.
Car and stash it in that building.
This is when the cops came. This one we figured out we had to have a parking lot for the cops to pull up into.
And so yeah, with that, then we had to change all those shots to the first scene to add a parking lot,
And the exterior, we had to change the exterior.
Change too.
Yeah.
The exterior establishing we had to change.
which is gonna, I think, even get more involved once Butters and Cartman have to come back from Super Fun Time and look down the street and see where the cops are. I think it even went through more changes even
Yeah, it
beyond
did.
that.
Excellent. Now listen, everyone, we're going to be all right.
This is the funny Burger King. And that's what we had trouble. We had to do. Remember, we had to do special Burger King bags that didn't look exactly like Burger King bags, but kind of looked like Burger King bags.
Yeah.
And that's we were talking about that today. We have all these problems with legal when we can't. We have to do something that Trey wants to reference something specifically, like the Pizza Hut or the Pizza Nut, or whatever. We're not like the Simpsons where we have these kind of re-emerging brands all the time. Of certain, what's the name of their beer? Duff.
Duff beer. Yeah.
Duff beer. Trey generally wants to reference something very specific, and then we have to come up with a version of it that still says it's that brand, but not so much where we'll get sued.
Yeah, that's right. And then sometimes it's often changing the color or changing the logo or changing the name just slightly.
Like Dr. Pepper cans, like Dr. Pepper with one P.
Yeah.
That looks exactly like Dr. Pepper.
So yeah, this park got a lot bigger. All of a
Yeah,
sudden.
it did. It did get bigger.
This is-
And also along with this, we had to figure out which terrorists, and we had to try to start figuring out where terrorists were. Like, where's this terrorist? Where's that terrorist? Is this guy guarding that area? Or this guy's with Hans, you know? And that became a little bit of a problem. Not too much, but we had to figure out where things are, where the terrorists were. And the sense of space, because we needed to Trey wanted to write a way of he had to figure out a way to get Cartman and Butters back into the park without the cops seeing it. So then we had to come up with the outer perimeter of what that was like. Is there an alleyway that they go down? Do they go back down around some more buildings? Do they go to a different street? And so that was one of the last things I think that was added, was how they get back into the the park. I mean, we didn't really get to that until
and it was kind of key to the joke too, because he kept wanting in certain shots where you couldn't see the outside world, and then other shots you could, and then when you're outside, he wanted to make sure it was really clear that they were in the city when they were outside.
You had to add tall skyscrapers.
Yeah.
A lot of buildings.
And we still don't have artwork for this. This is the scene that was in there on Thursday.
This one took a long time for special poses, right?
Yeah, I think we were waiting for the kids kneeling.
Even the guy sitting in the chair, we have to corral him that way.
And the acting, Trey really had specific actions of how he wanted that character to act, about with his eyes closed and his teeth clenched, and
then we got shot. Those are special poses.
Special poses and dead.
But I don't know. I don't think they went through that many revisions, though, did they?
The face for that one guy did, and then when he died, he wanted it not just dead flat side, he wanted a 3/4 side.
Is that what it was?
I don't have time for your stupid game. Tell me or you die right now. All right.
So yeah, sometimes things that look like it probably in traditional animation would be pretty simple. For us, it requires a lot more kind of revision work and getting exactly what Trey wants. And when he changes his mind, it goes through the process all over again.
Yeah. And then we have to, once that gets approved, then it's up to the animators. They have to switch out the geometry of our smart puppets, our little puppets, a generic standing person who's actually sitting, and then they have to slowly bring it in these like 3/4 poses as the character falls, and seamlessly give it the animation to make it look like it has that movement of it's just being one piece.
So wow, this is day 3, and we have the ending on day 3 already.
I don't know how it gets there yet, but
sometimes we get the ending first.
Yeah, like with Wilsiak, we got the ending first.
On the moon.
Then we have to figure out, okay, how are they going to get a whale?
Sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's not.
Yeah. You wanted to use different detectives for this one too, remember? It wasn't our traditional Harris and...
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So we took our...
Those were special poses. Cartman being drugged. And
yeah, this is a great scene.
Yeah.
That one ended up getting lengthened because he liked all the effort and the dragging of Butters when he's all beat up. So extended that whole thing.
So okay, well that was day 3. That was the end of Saturday.
Crap, they called the cops on us. What? They called the cops?
Three-quarter view, and then we have a 3/4 reverse. That ends up taking a lot of time because we have to kind of make sure it has the proper depth, design it with this kind of effect that Trey wants so people can do certain things, and we never know what the animators are going to need exactly when we design that stuff. So those shots look simple, but they're actually a little harder than they look.
And here we have our song.
6/6 Butnick.
Songs are pretty hard to do.
It was fun for me. I like cutting stuff to music.
Every background we have to redesign and build, and they're usually only like a second.
I think yesterday we talked about there being a lot of black holes during songs. Like during the Canadian show, there was a lot of black holes. But this one, you guys pretty much hit it really good, really well with ideas and for the montage.
Oh, the boards, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a scary board to see.
That was the Mission Impossible?
Yeah, he wanted that from Mission Impossible. When Tom Cruise is, I guess, on the bike and...
Oh, yeah, right. They're changing...
Oh, no, it was...
that was a James Bond. James Bond, when they go through...
Tomorrow Never Dies?
Yeah, when they go through that.
Michelle Yeoh?
Yeah.
He used to do a thing where him and Matt would stay all night Monday night, and we'd walk into notes on the Avid Tuesday morning. Remember that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they were horrible notes, too.
Yeah, they would stay till 2, 3 in the morning drinking wine and... leaving notes for
being
us.
winos.
And I think one of the notes was make more funny.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
So
make that more funny, guys.
But he doesn't do that anymore. I think by Monday he's got an idea of what he wants to do.
Yeah.
And I think sleep's more important to him.
think Jason Lopez animated this, right?
Maybe Neil.
Neil.
But this whole scene was animated without any kind of background.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
like there
We
we go.
just set it up with a mailbox. That's right.
Because we had no idea, like you were talking about, Eric, where that perspective street came in when he started being concerned with how the park was laid out outside of it.
Yeah, and we knew he had to be thrown up against a mailbox, so we just threw a mailbox in there and said, okay, this is a long shot animator. Go ahead and start animating it. Get in, and, put in your blinks and just roughly stage it out. And once the background gets figured out, we'll cut and paste that in. And if we still did this in construction paper, that would be impossible to do that. We'd have to either shoot it against green screen and mat it in, or we'd have to go back and reanimate that. So that's one of the reasons why we use the efficiency of the computers.
Yeah, there's no way we could do a show in 5 or 6 days.
It'd take like months.
So this is a rare moment here, is like all this layout of all those technological things that the guy's working on, Greg came up with just on the fly, like kind of like a DJ set almost, and Trey liked it. So we didn't have to go do a lot of research. He said just base it on that board, which makes our job that much easier. Because it has less revisions generally and less approval kind of issues.
Yeah, it came out good.
Is this, I forget if we put in the...
Oh, this is the big battle.
The big battle scene, most of them get killed. Most of the terrorists, the cops have come in.
I love that shot.
And yeah, we do action sequences. KO, one of our storyboard guys, he does most of the action sequences. He works for all sorts of other people outside of here doing action, so he's really good at it.
He's a man of action.
A border of action.
Wasn't there supposed to be an Indian that came out and fought them?
Yeah,
but you guys changed it. We changed it to...
Fake Mexican?
No, that's right. We didn't do the fake Mexican either.
You
I want to say it was Black Bart, but I know it's not Black Bart because Black Bart's cave was from the Casa Puñeta
Murphy?
episode. Murphy, that's
Bleeding
right.
something Murphy?
Murdering Murphy.
Murdering
Murphy. That's right. He was supposed to be a Mexican. Murdering Mexican.
Murdering Murphy, he's still in it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there was that sombrero guy that was
sombrero guy, and we
just
made
called
a
fake Mexican.
And we had a fake Indian too, but
He was in
it never made it
brownface.
in.
Yeah. It was too offensive.
That would be crossing the line.
Yeah, I don't know why they got changed. Just Trey wasn't happy with the design?
No, I think he wanted to really keep it kind of pioneer village and keep it
okay.
away from all the Indian and other stuff out of it.
We'll save that for another day.
Yeah. This is another logistic thing where you kind of just board it and figure out later where everything's going to happen.
And how they all
I
walk
think
away.
that one wasn't that restaged, so it was...
Well, for Storyboard is that we never get to hear the audio when we do. We just have to read the script and kind of do our own performance in our head of what the lines are going to be read like and hope we're close. So there's times where Cartman might say something like, get the hell out of here, or something like that. And then Trey's like, no, he's saying it kind of defeated. And we have to kind of interpret a lot. So that's one of the reasons the boards oftentimes don't have as much acting as we might like to put in there. It becomes fairly generic.
Because we're working so fast, yeah. I think like other shows, I mean, it's very critical to have the scratch track of what the character sounds like before they start even animating it and storyboarding it and stuff. There's Murdering Murphy. Murdering Murphy's been caught.
That guy with the top hat on?
I don't remember who that character is. Is that Pioneer? Paul? Yeah. Garrison's funny line. A little classic Kenny moment.
He hasn't written the part where they sneak across the lamppost or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still trying to figure that out.
Still trying to figure it
It
out.
was on Tuesday. We were trying to figure out how their boys, how Butter and Cartman get back in there.
Pretty complex scene.
Mm-hmm. And then them hanging, the physics of them actually hanging on the pole became a huge deal. It took us forever to...
There was a few different variations of that too.
Right.
Yeah, we had to figure out which way the traffic should be going and making it with using film language to make sure it all made sense.
Yeah, and then
Which way the characters were
a
going.
rare thing that happens in South Park is actually changing the arc of the camera. So it's normally a dead-on shot, but for that shot he wanted kind of a low looking up shot. And then he wanted this kind of 3/4 high shot, so when he jumps the fence, it was very clear where he was coming from, which is pretty rare for us. We generally don't do that.
It's all special effects.
All this stuff's pretty complex too on Monday.
Yeah, to get that many action shots with guns and explosions and
Destruction.
Yeah. It's almost expected though, but we figure out ways of making it work and how we're gonna do it.
End of Hulk Hogan.
There's another evolution of our show. I mean, earlier on, Comedy Central would be like, well, we don't want to see any blood on any of these characters, and man, we get really bloody
I
now.
remember with Chicken Lover, they had him have to die behind that bush.
Yeah, you have to go behind the bush. Yeah, and now we have the Queen of England blowing her top of her head off, and then she falls in a way that you see her open skull.
Yeah,
it
was brutal.
I like this last little scene. It's pretty funny. The cops are still trying to figure out what's going on. Why these guys are still acting.
Yes, I think later on this gets reversed. So right now you were facing the gate at that point, and now it ends up being reversed where they all walk back up the hill.
I think you're right. Yeah. Yep.
I think it all ends up in that one board that he cut right around. Is that reverse perspective?
Yeah, it pretty much becomes cops and kids watching Pioneer Village.
Yeah, I'll go back and get their Rhaegar Street clothes.
Where do they want to go to? Bennigan? Do they want to go to Bennigan's?
Yeah.
Chili's, something like that.
Was it Chili's? Yeah,
We're just going to jump and hop on that tree.
Right, it was supposed to be from the stoplight to the tree branch, and then
go into the park.
I remember that background with the tree with that long branch.
Yeah, and he didn't think he kept trying to get me to make the branch look more believable, that I would do that, and then I didn't.
This shot wasn't animated yet?
No.
Animated with black.
So yeah, originally that was also supposed to be an alleyway behind the park. You guys got a corral of it where there's trees and stuff still.
Yeah. And when we think like that, it kind of stunts like where the show's going because we're all caught up on what we think Trey wants, but then he's still kind of exploring ideas of what he really, really wants, and we've all got to get back up to speed. And sometimes stuff goes into production before he really can clearly convey what he wants. Yeah, this was a hard thing to get the kids to look like they were still holding hands. That was very critical. Trey wanted to make sure that it didn't look like they let go of their hands to get into the back in the Pioneer Village. So he wanted to make sure that it's very clear that they're still holding hands.
Yeah,
they never let go. Yeah. Which that's an idea from Midnight Run, right?
Yep.
Where they're kind of tied together.
Well, they're also talking about
Fled.
Yeah, it was also like Fled, but that other one was Sidney Poitier and where it's the black guy with the white guy who escapes jail and they're chained together.
Oh yeah.
That was the other reference too.
Right.
Those are some of Kevin Dalton's first boards right there, I think.
Kevin Dalton, yeah.
And a new storyboarder guy.
Storyboard artist. And this was a big moment too, like how we were going to show what Stan does. You know, he bends down and reaches in and grabs the mud, starts putting on his face.
Spent so much time on how that would happen, and then finally it just got
simplified,
simplified,
like way dumbed down.
Yeah, we don't even see it.
I think he got.
Yeah, I don't think he actually puts it on his face.
Yeah, he cut it out because he didn't want to reveal the joke until he reappeared.
Yeah. He likes to say he doesn't like to telegraph the joke, which is a basketball term.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to telegraph the pass.
Yeah.
So your opponent doesn't know where to look. So our audience is kind of our opponents. We don't want you to know.
Okay, yeah, I mean.
Telegraph anything these days. Murphy.
Murder in Murphy.
Yeah, all this hasn't been
animated at all.
Again, 9 p.m.
And that was
Tuesday
a brand new.
Yeah,
that
the
was
show
a brand
airs in
new
like
stand.
Show airs in 24
and that took
hours.
forever to build because of that mud wiping on the face.
To look just right.
And then
we had to adjust the color of the mud to make it look more like dirt.
Murder and Murphy ever get any special poses? I forget.
Just the fighting. When they started fighting with him with his bald cap off.
Oh, that's right.
Because I think he takes it off there at the end. And a lot of this setups are already set up because we had to set it up for previous scenes.
yeah.
We enjoyed having you.
Geez, the cops are looking for us everywhere. Don't worry, they're not going to find us till we're safely back inside.